Hi, today we're going to try to make a tater tot casserole, but we're going to do it with Cincinnati style chili. So I'm going to put this together in a 9 by 13 casserole dish, and I'm going to use some tater tots that I cooked for 30 minutes at 400 degrees, and I put salt and cayenne pepper on them before I cooked them. I've got some chopped up onion. I've got some red beans. They're in a sauce, but I might rinse that off. I don't know yet. I've got some crackers. I've got about 2.5 to 3 cups of Cincinnati chili that I made. And I used a Gold Star seasoned packet for that. And then I've shredded up some cheddar cheese. I'm going to put this together in a casserole, and then I'm going to bake it. I'm going to get started on this. I'll be back in a minute. Usually when I have Cincinnati chili and spaghetti and cheese with onions, like if you're building a 5-way or a 4-way, usually use raw onions, but the onions that I'm going to put into the casserole, I'm going to cook them a little bit and make them tender so they won't be too crunchy in the casserole.
Cut your eggs, cut your potatoes.
I'm going to cook about a cup of onions for the casserole. But I'm going to get them tender because they're going to be a layer in the casserole. Okay, they're looking pretty tender, the onions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of water to these, and then when that water cooks out, then I'm going to say they're ready for my casserole. And the reason I'm doing this is my son doesn't really like raw onion. So I'm trying to slip these in here without causing too much of a, without too much onion crunch going on. So I'm just going to let those kind of simmer, get soggy. Alright, I'll be back in a few minutes, and then we'll put this casserole thing together. Okay, I've got the onions cooked down just the way I want them. It's like we started out with a cup of onion, and now it's like we have a half a cup. And they seem to be pretty tender. I cooked them for about 10 minutes. That's probably too long. I'm not afraid to admit I really don't know what I'm doing. You guys probably figured that out by now. So the next step is going to be building the casserole. So we're going to go back over to the counter for that. Okay, stay with me. Okay, I'm ready to layer this Cincinnati chili tater tot casserole. First thing I'm going to do is spray a little nonstick on there. Then I've got about 3 or 4 cups of cooked tater tots. They're cool. Like I said before I cooked them, I sprinkled them with cayenne pepper, the red pepper, and some salt. They taste really good the way they are. Actually, I cooked these yesterday and I kept them in the refrigerator, but they're room temperature now. Okay. Next, I've got my chili. And I'm just going to pour some of that over the potato tots.
First of all, let me ask you a few questions, Mr. Sanford. What's your educational background?
Well, I was working towards my PhD, but I didn't quite complete it.
I see. How far did you get?
1 to 10th grade.
Okay. Now I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of my cooked onions on top of this. So this is the third layer. I don't want to put too much because my son, who will be eating this with me, doesn't really like onions. Okay. He likes beans though. So. These were actually chili beans, but I rinsed the chili off of them. You can use any kind of beans, I guess. Kidney beans, chili beans. But I rinsed them off. I'm going to use all of them. That was 1 can of beans. Now I'm going to do something a little different. I don't have any oyster crackers. I wish I did. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a few crackers over this. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little more chili. I meant to put my hot sauce on the crackers, but this will be alright. Everybody loves hot sauce, right? That's Louisiana style. Okay. Now I'm going to put some cheese on it. Okay, I've got all the cheese on it. I'm going to put it in the oven for maybe 25 minutes at 350. I'll be right back. Alright, it's time to get the tater tot casserole out of the oven. The house isn't on fire, so we're in good shape. It's good and hot, good and melted. I'm gonna let this rest, as Chef Ramsay would say. Let's let it rest. We always just say, let's let it cool off a little bit. So, anyway, I'm gonna let it cool off. Okay. It didn't stick. It's actually looks pretty good. I'm going to let it cool off and then cut into it. Alright, be back in a minute. Okay, this is cooled off good enough to handle. Already kind of sectioned it off a little bit. Well, it don't look like much, does it? We've got a cracker right there on top. I hope that's going to be good. I just did that because when I eat Cincinnati style chili, I always put oyster crackers in it, so that's why we've got that going on. Get a good look at that. Of course, you guys can doctor your tater tot casserole if any way you want. I was inspired from DW's tater tot casserole and Sarah's tater tot casserole, and I'm going to link to that in the description so you can get a view on how some other tater tot casseroles are made. But I'm going to enjoy this for right now. Thanks for watching. I hope you try it.